I'll mainly give credit to Colleen Richter, who originally contacted the West Bend News. Different people have been talking about how they miss having a newspaper in town. And so it seemed to make, you know, at one point we talked about a way to start, you know, make like a weekly tabloid of some kind with volunteers. But it made sense because the West Bend News is already in the area to use them for Hicksville News and just have them expand their coverage. And we're going to identify people in Hicksville who will volunteer to send news. So Jan Heffelfinger has always done the school board news and the council news, and so she's started sending those to the West Bend News already. And we'll try and do that with other things as we hear about news in town. We'll find a way to get it to the West Bend News. So we appreciate having them here. We would like to support them with advertising in the paper because that's what keeps them in business. So please welcome the Steiners.
I sure appreciate the opportunity to come here. I'm Bryce Steiner, and my lovely wife Angel. We thank you, Susan, for having us. I sure appreciate the good dinner too. I don't know if you guys thank them enough, but I think it was fantastic. I don't know who you have make your food, but they could open a diner. That would be really successful. We started West Bend Printing in 2005. I think it was June of sorts, 2005. So we're coming up on nearly 20 years. And I can't believe where the time has gone. Our kids have grown up, they've moved on to other things, and done lots on their own. I have known Mike for probably 30 plus years. I knew him while I was in high school. I started working at the East Allen Courier, or Courier Printing in Grayville, under Waldo Dick. And I don't know if you ever did much on the Indiana side. I guess he's saying yeah. Waldo Dick died at the age of, what, 99, I think, several years ago. And he inspired me a lot to realize how important it is to have local news. And the Courier begged us to stay, and it's like, no, God is calling us. God is calling us to another place that needs to be blessed also. And hopefully throughout the years, that has been what we have done. Not because we've been there, but because we're serving our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And when I look around and I see good things happening, I know that is from Jesus. When we see things being torn down, that's not from Jesus. That is not good things that are happening. And throughout the years, that has always been our statement. And at the bottom of the notepad, you'll see even one of our verses from Ecclesiastes that we love, and we've been going through that from the time we have started, and that is serve God. That's what we're here for, to serve others, to be a blessing. And when we started the whole print shop newspaper, and I'm not here to promote the printing at all, because Mike does a fantastic job of printing. We've worked together on jobs, and there's probably even more that we could work on, but sometimes you just don't quite think about everything, all of our local options. We cannot overestimate the importance of local shopping. Whether it is manufacturing, whether it is retail or not. We have kind of fallen into this rut of Amazon and other stores that are chain-wide, whether it's Dollar Generals or your Family Dollars, and not to belittle them at all, but every time we spend there, the money leaves. The profits leave. And I would like to see the small businesses are the ones that support the schools. They're the ones who pay most of the taxes, and they're probably also the most discriminated against because they do not get the tax breaks, they do not get all the credits that everybody else gets, but yet we still keep things going. We're the ones that stay in the communities that we are in for many years and sometimes many generations. In fact, you're probably from a business that has been around from generations possibly. I think it's very important. We're the ones that are the foundations and the pillars of our communities. And West Bend itself, I still consider it a new business, but being that we're almost 20 years, I'm not sure we've outlived the average business age by quite a bit now. Currently we have 6 employees, 5 are full-time, and some family, some not, but they all live locally. They all live right around the Antwerp, or right in between here. We've got one that lives just across the state line in Amish country. In fact, you probably thought I was Amish. But I grew up in Grayville, and so I relate well to manure, horses and stuff. Anyhow, I sure do appreciate any kind of support. And our newspaper, and Angel's going to talk about this more, it is based upon the community. The community writes, the community sends it, they put it in, we put it out there. Why? Because we are a community. We could go easy and put in AP or Reuters or something else, but that's what everybody else has got. I like stuff that is about our community, the stuff that matters, our local elections, our local voting, and our local shopping. Because that is really what matters. People get tied up with what's going on in Washington, and they don't even realize what is happening in their back door, right there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Angel. And Mike, are you running unopposed?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't win, you do have a serious problem. Okay. Anyway, I'll call up Angel here, and it's been fantastic. We have worked together, since we've been married, since 1996. That probably seems young to a lot of you. I'm not trying to say your age, but a lot of marriages don't last that long, especially if you have to work beside each other. And that's all we have to say about that.
I'm Angel. I do a lot of the newspaper work. I do all the proofreading, so whenever you see typos and mistakes, that's my fault because I'm the last person that sees it before we send it off. But like Bryce said, our newspaper, we are a free distribution newspaper that prints on, our date is Mondays every week. And you can submit your news and articles, and most photos are free if they come from the schools or organizations or things. We do charge for a few pictures, which would be like personals, like birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. We do charge for those types of photos. Right now, our newspaper is a 12-page paper, and we have 2 spreads that are color. The front and the back are all in color, and the middle is in color also. And like Bryce said, our motto is good news for good communities. And you'll see on the top of page 2, we put a verse of the week every week just to give people a little bit of encouragement, because we know the best encouragement there is from heaven above. And we try to keep our focus on that. And the good news is we try desperately not to put the latest murder, the latest car, something bad. We try to avoid those on the front page. I like to bury those things because I don't think that makes for a good day whenever you're constantly riddled with bad news. So, like Susan said, she sent out that letter. And as you can see on our front page, every week we try to honor or recognize our advertisers. So that top little thing on the right side in gray, that's all of our advertisers for the week. So when we go through and we do our checklist before we go to print, that little list gets changed every week to see who all has supported us for that week. And at the bottom is another part of how to be a good community. We put in the dates of the upcoming events to try to remember that. And also another thing about our paper that's different, we are an eclectic collection of community news. If you look through the paper, you're not going to find a section on Antwerp. You're not going to find a section on Oakwood. You're not going to find, those sections. We are a community, and we drive most places every week. If we're not going to Fort Wayne, we're going over to Paulding, we're going to Hicksville, we're driving through Hicksville to Auburn or Bryan. And so it's nice to know as you're driving through what's happening here this week, or what has happened in this school this week. And again, probably 95% of our news is submitted by all these organizations that you read about and see their photos for. Now I'm the secretary for the Antwerp Chamber of Commerce, so if you see something from the chamber, more than likely, I'm the one that covered that and wrote that. But other than that, people send it to us, and we depend on people to let us know what's happening because, like Bryce said, there's only 5 of us in the office every day, and only 3 of us really pay attention to what's going on in the newspaper. 2 of our sons who work for us, they work in the back and they're doing all the printing stuff, and they don't really do this part. So. And for advertising, as you can see, it goes up and down. We have some regular advertisers, we have some that just advertise once or twice a year. The advertising is what pays for the newspaper to be printed, it's what pays for our drivers to deliver it each week, and that is where expanding into Hicksville is a very good idea because we've included Hicksville news for years. When we started doing drop-off locations, most of the businesses that we have asked specifically, would you like to put our paper in your place, they've been more than willing to say yes. We like local news, especially it seems like places where people have their morning coffee, like McDonald's. They will call us, those people that are the dailies are like, why didn't you put a Sudoku puzzle in this week? Because this last year we changed over to do a crossword puzzle, and we have a couple businesses that sponsor that to put that bigger ad space in there and that. And well, we don't like crosswords, we like Sudoku. Well, it's okay, it's every other week, you'll be fine. And so that's about all. I can't think if I missed anything about the newspaper that people need to know.
Where do you drop them off?
That is on page 5, I believe. Yeah, page 5 is a very important page. It has a box that has all of our locations where you can pick it up all over the area. This is all the places that we go to. It has our disclaimer that tells what West Bend News is and how we go. And it also has a little box that you can fill out if people don't want to go and pick it up somewhere. We can deliver it to your home. You just fill that out, send it in, or drop it off at our office, and you'll get it to your mailbox every week. So that is how that works. And we also, if you'll notice on page 5 there, we have a nice letter to the editors section with our disclaimer that sometimes those views are not ours, but we believe in the First Amendment right to tell us what you think, as long as you are being truthful and you're not attacking anybody. We believe strongly in letting people be heard. Did I miss anything?
No, there's a lot we could say, but nobody really cares other than, you could go to our YouTube channel. We've got 2 YouTube channels.
Yeah, you'll notice in that little bundle that we passed out to you guys earlier, Bryce and I have a little side gig. As our children grew up and moved out of the house, we decided we need to do something that we like to do. And so we bought 110 acres in southeast Kentucky, and we are developing it. And Peace in the Valley is our name that we have given ourselves. Actually, that's our holding company for all our properties. But we mostly focus, you can go to our YouTube channel and check that out. We're playing in the mud, driving up and down mountains, and all that kind of fun stuff. So.
And then West Bend News has a YouTube channel too.
Yeah, West Bend News has a YouTube channel, which we mostly cover the Antwerp Council meeting on there and other events that have gone on. We've done
ribbon cuttings
and
small things.
festivals in the area. Bryce likes to do his drone shots and show everybody from the above.
That's good, yeah.
Anybody have any questions that came up?
You know, we miss, I'll hold you just for a second, we really miss the News Tribune. We would get it every week, and it's a lot of work. I don't know, Mike knows this, and anybody involved in newspaper, but it is a lot of work. And then once you do it, then you have to answer the phone of people who wanted to know why their stuff wasn't in. Well, it's because, well, we didn't know about it. So if you're questioning whether something's not in, it's because we didn't know, because we'll put it in. And we sure appreciate it with the postal rates and all that so high. That's why we've decided to put it in local stores. And it also brings people into local stores. That's why we've done it. Go ahead.
So I work for Community Foundation, and we just made a grant to Hicksville for the splash pad, and then the Rotary organization matched that with a $5,000 match. So is that something that we could send to you for publishing?
Yes.
Absolutely. We
And
put
the
actually quite a
grant,
bit of the
just
splash
your
pad in
email?
for Hicksville.
Yep. I've seen them.
Did you ever do that?
Thank you.
They had my picture in there.
Yeah, did we do the splash pad thing? or-
Yes, yes, was the.
That was a couple weeks ago, I think you did a roll.
That was the promo for the matching. So now we got a match.
Awesome.
Yeah, excellent. Yes, we'd love to. Anytime you have pictures, remember it's good news for good communities. So it doesn't matter if it's a business opening, a renovation, a school events, even student of the months, you know, that kind of stuff. What grandparent does not like to see their kids achieve, their grandkids achieve at school? That people love that. So anything that's good news for good communities. You can send us bad news, but we probably will do other stuff with it.
We put it in, it's kind of
we
buried
usually-
around a bunch of good stuff, yeah.
We usually wait for a sheriff's press release or something rather than our spin. So,
I would like to comment, you guys have helped the community band out big time, putting articles in about us, and I always appreciated that, so.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Church news too.
So, they reach out to a lot of the small communities that don't have newspapers, like we had one for over 100 and some years, but they you know, you do Payne, Antwerp, I'm sorry, not Leo, but, help me out here.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
cover a lot of places that, communities that don't have, back in the old days, they did, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a change on how they got information and everything, so.
You're exactly right. The newspaper, the office is in Antwerp. However, we do go to places, even like Monroeville, Indiana. We cover Woodland, we cover, you know, even if we can get at Hicksville, you know, we'll include the football and stuff. I'd like to include more. Edgerton to Defiance, Bryan, Fort Wayne, we've got it in a Walmart or two that people pick them up there. And all the chief stores from Defiance, Bryan to, I think, Van Wert. So yeah, so basically our counties are Allen County, Indiana, Paulding County, Defiance County, Van Wert, and a little bit of Putnam. And a little bit of Williams, I forgot, Bryan's in Williams County, yeah. And that is absolutely correct. It's just a lot of, like Angel said, it's eclectic news. You know, just stuff because even though we have our small town, a little bit bigger is also places that we go through all the time. You know, whether it is Antwerp, whether it's Hicksville. I would much rather prefer to shop here than anywhere else. You know, just right here, this is great. You know, Northwest, you know, right here. That's what I would prefer. So hopefully, by doing this, we can work together. We're not owned by any big corporation. It's just us. That's it. Just like Mike. What you see is what you get. Thank you very much.
Very good.